In this video, I am down at Brands Hatch on a track day. Reason being is because I get a lot of people asking me that you need to spend big money to go fast. You need to budget at least 50 or 60 grand to keep up with the big boys. Well, that's not really the case, especially for enjoyment. Budget 8 grand and you can get yourself a Renault Clio R.S. Mark III with a normally aspirated engine and the Cup chassis with around about the mid 30,000 miles. Do not do any modifications with it at all, just buy it out the box and I promise you, you will keep up with the big boys and more importantly, have just as much, if not more, fun. Let me demonstrate.
And this is the car we have in question. It's a Renault Clio R.S, the previous shape, 200 with the Cup chassis. The owner has kindly given me the keys to go out and go for a drive on this rather damp track day. Now we've got a mixture of cars out there. We've got an M3 CS and we've got a couple of other cool Renaults. We've got another 197 Cup and a few other bits and pieces, but this Clio RS is back to basics. Doesn't even have keyless entry. It does have Cup chassis. You can spec these with the Recaro shell seat, but it is just pure back to basics. Doesn't even have the startup button on these cars, the keyless sort of card thing. It's just got a popping key. So it's basically the lightest weight spec Clio RS round. This car is bone dry stock. It's running the standard pads and discs, and it's got Continental Sport Contact 5s. Now, we're going to go out, go for a drive, do a few laps, no skiddy stuff because we don't want to get told off and get black flagged, but we're going to go out and just show you that you can go as quick, if not quicker, than the big boys. It's cold out there. Here we are then, the Renault Clio RS 200. Now, spent most of this morning out on track. It's been a bit greasy. Brands Hatch Indy is also a really cool circuit. I always think that front wheel drive lightweight car's always been great. It's also my local track as well too. And it's one of the very few tracks that in London, which is about an hour away, that you can go and enjoy your car. So let's go for a little warm up, learn the surface a little bit. 200 horsepower, normally aspirated 2 litre. Druids, what does Druids feel like? So it's not too bad. We've got the Continental Sport Contact 5, which disperse water really well. But woohoo! It's a bit greasy. A little bit greasy. Right, I better not drift, otherwise I'm going to get told off. So let's just warm up the tyres ever so slightly. Let's see if we get a warning sign. Probably not. Coming onto the straight. We've got a Porsche 944. We've got a mixture of cars here today. We've got some tuned up Seat Leon 1.9 City Power. Felt really quick, looked like it. And 300 horsepower. Right. Paddock Hill, it's always a bit greasy. You never want to go into the gravel pit because you just sink in. Druids, let's try second gear around here. Sometimes second gear in this car, you can spin up the inside wheel so slightly, but not too bad. Probably next time round I'll stay in third gear. So, you spend 6 to 8 grand on, say, this, a Renault Clio RS, and you go out on track and you do a bit of skids. Not a bit of skids. The Indy circuit is just a cool circuit. Very short, but those ones you've got to be really on it, and you can get into trouble if you're not too careful. Guy in the 944's nicely let us go past. You don't want to have something with too much power. So coming into 30
regular punters happy. Woohoo! We'll let the Suzuki Swift go past. Cool, that's a properly set up Suzuki Swift there. Almost looks like a miniature touring car. Just love how beautiful this Clio is on the limit. Some people disagree. Some people think the 182 is a better driving car. Well, I think so too, but this Clio R.S for the money, for under 10 grand with the Cup chassis, what more do you want? People modify them and do some really cool things, but you know what? I don't think I'd do anything to this. I think it's just great out of the box. The brakes are really good. The steering's really nice. It's got genuine feedback. You actually can feel what's going on within the chassis, which is really, really nice. Tell you what, he says, let's go on a max attack mode now. Let's go for a cheeky coup. We might get told off. Right, and that was a good laugh in this Clio RS 200. This car is really, really good. It's not the most torquiest, but do you know what? Around a track when you're using high revs, this engine is a peach. 200 horsepower around Brands Indy. This car, the owner paid about 8 grand for it. Now, £8,000 for a car, this isn't too bad. And like I said, no other modifications have been done. Like I said, tyres are stock, runs on Continentals as it would do from factory. So are the brakes, it's got Cup chassis. The only thing it doesn't have is the Recaros, but you can go as quick, if not quicker, than some of the other cars today. We were quicker than a BMW M3 CS, the F80 car, but then that was running on Cup 2 Michelins. So the key to it is, if you want to go fast, spend some money and do some tuitioning and learn to go quicker, because I think you'd have just as much enjoyment in learning the capabilities of your own car, and that just opens up more ideas and you get more fun out of it, rather than just spending lots and lots of money and having to go out and buy something really expensive and then possibly dinging it. You don't want that. These are a lot of fun. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this video of the Clio RS 200. Enjoy.